Yo, yo, yo. KARAFURUUU. It's cool to see that something I talked about a few days ago where people were being very complacent on buying these pre-reveal, that they seem to have bounced off around 2.4 and are well up above 3.5 now. We're actually seeing 3.7. So it does seem like, with the Hate Prime and the Zipsies and all those projects tanking, people weren't willing to get into this project until reveal, and now that they're starting to get in, we're seeing the floor rise here. Let me bring in the other guys. Yo, 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 what's up, guys? Karafuruu moon.
Woo, 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 woo.
Everyone's been in on the project the past hour or so, just basically watching everything go on here. Yeah, I personally had bought several pre-reveal, and kind of mad there was a legendary that had sold at 25, I think. Yeah, it was actually this one. I really wanted to try to buy it. I failed. It sold within a few minutes, and priced at 99. But I think this project has a lot of people behind it, whether we know it or not. And I think that the art resonates with a lot of people, and the floor has, in my opinion, potential to break 5 Ethereum. But time will tell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Aiden had called this in the group at, what was it, Aiden? You called it, you said we're looking for an entry at 2.3 or 2.4, right?
Yeah, so the call was that we look for a buy-in between 2 and 2.5, and then I also put a stretch buy-in to 3 ETH if you find one that you like. The floor ended up hitting 2.3, a low of 2.3 for just a short bit of time post-reveal. OpenSea was taking a little bit of time, crashing. Things were loading up. But if you were able to buy sub 3 ETH, you're sitting really nicely right now. Really pleased with how this went. Couldn't have gone any better. Unfortunately, I got a failed transaction at 2.4. That's kind of annoying now, but still happy that I was able to get an entry at around 3 ETH. Obviously, super expensive project. So unfortunately, obviously you need a lot of working capital to make this happen. But plays like these are typically where I make most of my money. I don't really make it in like the smaller flips. It's normally the bigger, higher conviction plays that tend to be better for me longer term. So this has the formula, as Vince was saying, to be like something that could really run. So I'm excited for this one. I'm happy for the members and excited for them, that those that were able to get in at the call. Super cool, and just going to be watching this all day and probably for the rest of the month.
Yeah, yeah. Aiden, something you had called out too was look at specifically the toe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but you were saying that there was the Torau character that you were really, which was rare, in addition to what was it, the
Egao.
Egao, or I don't know how to say it correctly.
Yeah. So I
What's
was
crazy?
searching through the sneak peeks earlier this morning to figure out like which ones, if I could pick, instead of just a random floor, would I try to target and maybe pay a little bit of a premium for. I decided that Egao would be cool, which is like the humanoid character that's not the baby, and then the Torao, which is like the tiger character, I thought was quite cool. Turns out that Egao wasn't very rare. I think Egao is the most common base, but Torao is actually like the 5th rarest base. And Floron Torau, I'm looking at it's like 3.97, and those were also sitting at the floor at 2.4. I know one member. Shout out to sorry, let me find him.
HDR, right?
HDR, HDR Cells got one, and so did hang on, I'm scrolling here. Slumdog Millionaire got a Torau at like 2 something. So super stoked.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I just think it's crazy the floor difference on the two characters. I didn't realize that the Torah was so rare, but we have the Torah sitting at a 4E floor when the project's floor is, I guess, just right there. But if you look, like, the floor on those Torahs is ridiculously thin. 4 sales now until 4.5, and
Yeah.
the price differentiation, obviously mental numbers, 4.5 is a little thicker, but the road between here and 5 ETH is like the difference between 20 or 30 sales, which is ridiculous, especially with this volume. Something Vince had pointed out a few minutes ago was we were seeing so many sales above the floor. And Vince, I don't know, like the last project we had seen this on, I feel like was Azuki, where we were seeing sales, I remember we talked about on the show, so far above the floor for guys who are just willing to sit on this for a while. I think it's a really bullish signal.
The last time where I saw that kind of fail was the littles. When those revealed, there were a ton of sales, like 3, 4, 5x over, and they really never took off. And I mean, they're fine, but that was like floor was 0.5 then. I'm gonna assume the floor is maybe at best 0.8. Let's see, the littles 0.5 still. So that and they went way down from there. I think they've been as low as like 0.2, maybe even a little lower. But yeah, the indicator of seeing people buying not floor at ones, but ones that are well off the floor is a great sign on most projects. And yeah, it happened on Azuki's and Doodles. As you can see a minute ago here, if you're watching, one of the red helmets just sold. Actually, I think two of them sold in the past 3 minutes. Those red helmets. The helmet traits are popular for sure because it's like their lead character has the blue helmet on. So that's why people are buying those helmets. Obviously, and as headgear, the helmets is one of the lowest traits, the white and black, and then the red and blue are pretty low as well, but they just have that significance of being kind of like the icon of the project. So people are definitely buying up here on more rare traits and ones they really like. So I'm bullish on the project, more longer term than any project as of recent. I guess you'd have to go back to the Azuki's. Everything in between these, I don't really care to touch, but these are really sick. And I think like the Azuki's, they have the Asian crowd behind them, and I think the same can be said here. Totally different styles, but I can see that these would be really popular. And I mean, I really think there's some really awesome ones too. So
Totally. Yeah, should be really cool to see where these go.
Really looking forward to it.
yeah, do we want to talk squiggles, I guess?
Yeah, we can. It's a huge mess. We had kind of covered Squiggles yesterday or Monday. Basically, Squiggles was a project that started as a Doodles derivative, a 3D Doodles derivative. They got cease and desisted by Doodles official early in the year. I think it was mid-January. They then took the project, rebranded it to whatever, like to this new artwork, which was their own characters and some BS roadmap, like we've seen with most of these 3D projects. Basically, yesterday or this morning it came out, someone wrote a 60-page article. It's all over Twitter, basically breaking down all of these guys, their addresses, their houses, who they're related to, what correlation they have with what project they've rugged in the past. They're not saying this is an instant rug, but they're saying it's just one of these, it's a project that these guys keep getting away with, where they're launching these 3D art projects. They've done a bunch of these in the past, and they're able to get away with it because they're not instant rugging. They're dropping a project. The project will do well for a few weeks, and 3 weeks later, no one's talking about it, and boom, they've moved on to another. So they tracked all of it down.
I think we lost McKay there. Can you guys? I can't hear him at all. Can you guys hear anybody? Did Discord just blow up? I think Discord just went down.
Oh, really?
I think
Yeah.
Discord just went down for a minute there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, McKay. See if it works.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. It's weird. Yeah. Anyways, these guys were just getting doxxed, complete scam. A huge red flag that I had seen this morning after they announced the pricing breakdown was it's going to start at 1 ETH and drop by 0.05 every 20 minutes. So there's no question that it's going to sell out above 0.8, 0.9. I think now we will see it get lower, but these guys don't care. The project's still going to sell out. They're still going to get their bag, and they're probably going to keep moving on to projects regardless of the FUD, because people are going to buy and wanting to flip, and they're going to get caught stuck holding it. But the FUD on Twitter for this project is nothing like we've seen recently as far as a pre-launch FUD. And I don't think it's going to be a quick rug, but it's just going to be like what they've done in the past, where they launch these projects and they don't talk about it again 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. And I don't know, it's sketchy, man. It's gonna be expensive too. 1 ETH starting price on a Dutch auction with the 0.4 floor. So definitely room to get burned on something like this. But that being said, there are enough people that don't know what the hell they're doing that are actually excited about this. So I do think that there is gonna be some potential for profit in some way, but it's a risky one.
Yeah, I honestly I'm probably just gonna forget about this project like I do a lot of projects. I really try to just focus on ones that at least have a little staying power. And then yeah, I mean I just don't want to get caught holding a cheaper project that goes basically to zero. Even though I think these meant for 1 ETH. Is that right?
Yeah, it starts at
1 ETH starting price, yep. And they'll probably sell out there, I would think.
Yeah.
yeah, it drops
Staying
by
out.
0.05 every 20 minutes. So I figure someone willing to pay 0.9 is probably going to be willing to pay 1 ETH, and the difference between that is 40 minutes.
I'm just looking. KARAFURUUU. It seems like that 3.7 is a bit of a resistance here for the project.
Yep, I noticed that there was more listings under that.
1,000
3.6.
listed, so 20%, which is actually a high number of items listed for sure.
Which I'd say is pretty normal in the early stages of a project. You know, like over time, more holders are crafted out, kind of like with something like Doodles and even Azuki and whatnot. They end up in the hands of people that are willing to hold it.
Yeah, the
Ideally, we'll see that here. Dude, these are sick, man. I really like the white helmet, man. That was such a good buy, I think.
Oh, a white helmet just sold actually for 8. Somebody listed it for 8.
Wow.
And now it's back to 15.
That to me, dude,
Wow.
the white helmet is like the rainbow puke doodle equivalent, because the blue helmet guy has, or I should say the helmets in general are, because the blue helmet guy was like the trademark for this project. And they're super rare.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if the project runs, these helmets are going to be really popular. Obviously, they're selling now for a premium, but they'll sell for an even better premium if the project gets above 5.
100%.
It's one just to literally the next few days. It's like the main thing I'll be watching is this project. See what happens. And there's supposedly the owner made some kind of an announcement. Isn't that right? Did AD
Yeah,
find
the owner
that?
said Jeo is his name. Zhao, maybe is that how you pronounce it? But he announced that holding one of these Karafuruus will get you utility for the next collection or project that he said. Yeah, but I think he's since
Okay.
deleted that tweet. So
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. Not that that's very great anyways, because most projects, if you have one of like the original Genesis or whatever,
Yeah.
it gives you some access to the next drop, or you just get it airdropped or whatever. So, okay. Is there anything? What else was there we were looking to cover today?
Cool Pets just minted. Floor seems to be like 2 ETH right now. Happy I
Okay.
was able to get out of that when I did. Also, Invisible Friends announced their mint date, which is February 22nd, February 23rd. So, should be cool. I think all of it's going to whitelist, which is what my understanding is.
Right.
That'll probably be the next big project besides Karafuru, which is kind of cool because it gives Karafuru a bit of time to run, figure out where its price is before people try to exit and eventually roll stuff into Invisible Friends.
Yeah.
Because I think if we had to bet, that's probably the next huge project. But it looks like we've got a week of maybe just price movement upwards for some other projects, which is kind of cool.
For sure.
Azuki had a little bit of time there.
Yeah, where it was in the spotlight. I think that's really good for these projects. But it's like I'm sure Karafuru will end up being like the top volume for this week and maybe even the month. We'll see. It's certainly for this week already at 19,000 ETH.
Yeah.
Maybe even higher.
I'm excited about these.
Yeah, so should be cool.
BCH 36 ETH sale. See, like most people are watching this closely. Let's see which legendary it was here. Oh wow, they accepted an offer. This one's pretty sick too. It's yeah, that one's cool. I'm surprised they took an offer, but I guess, that's such a this person minted that and they just were like 36 ETH. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I think the floor on the legendaries is 35. Could have changed since we went live. Let's see. The two bases here. Oh, and that might have been an Akai, actually. Was that an Akai? I think it was. Akai, yeah, which is actually the most rare legendary base. There's a few bases on these for people who aren't going to be watching it live. There's Akai has 25, and then Goji has the other 70 out of 95 total legendaries. So you'll see 33.3 ETH is the floor right now. So they got a little above floor, but the floor on the Akais is 50 and then 60. So they sold it well under the floor of that base legendary. So
And if you want to get a sense for like the type of this project, like just check out the legendaries, because I mean these guys clearly spent a ton of time working on these, and these all look the detail on these is really incredible. So
Yep.
yeah, it gives me a lot of confidence in the future of a project like this when you see this many legendaries that are clearly they've dedicated hours making these things.
yeah, those helmets are flying BCH. I bought a white helmet for a red helmet and a blue helmet just sold in the past 2 minutes. I don't remember what I paid on my helmet. Maybe Garrett remembers. 9?
I think you paid 8.
Oh, 8. Okay, I bought one for 8 because the next was 15. So my play on it is actually I have it listed at 15 right now because I'll take the 4 profit after fees and get into like a couple floor ones. That would be my play on these. Yeah, that's what I did on Doodles, and that's what I love to do. I love to get into these like really hype projects, try to get a nice rare one, and then if the floor continues to run, if the floor here goes to 5 or 6, I think I can get that thing sold for 15. So that's what I like to do. And I actually saw a pretty big NFT guy say that like no longer is the play to be buying and minting a lot of these projects. There's tons of money to be made on the secondary post reveal. So that's what I've always liked to do personally. And actually, most of the guys in this call, I think, are on the same page there.
100%. Yeah, I don't pay much mind to minting.
Yo, Best Buy. Yep.
Yeah, Best Buy
Yeah,
dropped about 20 minutes
it's been
ago.
going, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw the checkouts coming through, so I wasn't sure if it was a restock.
And then I know other guys that like to just buy the floor so you can get out of them really quickly if it does move up. And I like that move too. I mean, you could just sell the floor really quickly, get out, and be done with it. So buy several floors or whatever.
And something else to point out, and I kind of touched on this earlier, but if you look at a project like this, when this many people are talking about it, when the volume's like this, when the floor is running, it's just going to suck liquidity out of other projects. So I'm looking at like the top rankings for the last 7 days, specifically at things like Asuna, Zipsies, even like, Cool Pets. Like the floors on these are just going to go down. I think Asuna floor is 0.35, Zipsies 1.07. So like these projects that don't have much going for them, that may have minted in the last few weeks or revealed recently, I would, try to strategically move around your ETH from these projects, roll it into other projects if you think they're going to suck up that market liquidity, because when one project is running, it's more difficult to sell something else.
Yeah. Not a whole lot else going on that I wanted to touch. Overall, everything else has been kind of flat. Mutants flat. Bored Apes were 93 or 94 yesterday, down just a little bit. Not really looking out for many projects today either, like to go for. There's the Soul Citizens, but there may not even be public for that. Has that been determined yet? I don't know yet. We'll see. So, yeah, anything else you guys want to touch base on today?
That's all I've
I
got.
think I'm good.
Cool. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow looking at, I'm sure, what's been going on with the KARAFURUUU over the past day or so. Thanks, guys.